Welcome back to ChessDNA, guys, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing something super important for every player to do before actually going to a classical chess tournament. And I have my classical chess tournament on Saturday and Sunday, and it's Thursday today, right? So I have like one more day to prepare all I can. And in this video I thought it would be like really nice to share with everybody the most important thing that you have to do before actually going to a classical chess tournament. And it is to solve as many endgame puzzles as you can. Otherwise, there's no point in going to the classical chess tournament, because nobody wants to go and just suffer after making like maybe a bad move right in the opening and suffer for 2.5 hours. And nobody wants that, right? At least I'm not in for that. So what I gotta do today is I'll be solving some endgame puzzles, and I'll share this routine with everybody here that you can basically take a 30-minute slot or maybe like a 20-minute slot. It depends on your schedule, and just do endgame puzzles in those 20 minutes. It does not matter if you're doing like one puzzle in 20 minutes. It does not matter if you're doing 5. It does not matter if you're doing 20. I mean, they all are same, because you're doing that thing for 20 minutes, right? So it's the time that you're putting into the thing that matters, not the quantity. So what we are going to do today is just solve these endgame puzzles, and we'll count how many we can do in this session, let's say that of 20 minutes. And then I'll just post another video in which I'll just try to maybe beat my score. But the difficult part about this challenge is that we must do all these puzzles correctly. Because what I have kind of experienced and what I have kind of realized is that once you're doing these puzzles before your tournament, just to kind of train your mind and just get in shape, if you're doing even a single puzzle wrong, it will guarantee one mistake or one inaccuracy for you in the game, right? So it's because you're just making your brain used to of making mistakes. It's something we don't want. What we want to do is just calculate it out. We have a lot of time. We don't care. We have 20 minutes to, even if we are not able to solve this puzzle, we have 20 minutes to think about it. And all that thinking process is going to benefit us during the actual games. So it's just that. So let's actually start doing these puzzles and see how many we can do. But the real deal is to solve them all correctly. And I have to repeat this again. If you're solving one puzzle wrong, you're kind of telling your brain or communicating this to your subconscious mind that it's okay to do mistakes. Well, I keep doing it. I did it in the puzzle. I saw that puzzle wrong. I'm making these bad moves all the time. So the brain actually gets used to of making bad moves. We don't want that. Puzzle actually already guarantees that we have a winning position, and there's a combination that we have to find. So it doesn't matter if it takes you 20 minutes, 40 minutes, never ever solve any puzzle wrong. Just calculate it out to the end, and the amount of energy that you will put into one puzzle is going to really pay off in the actual games. So let's actually start. And here we have Lee chess endgame puzzles of medium difficulty, and this is the first one. Let's actually see what's going on. So in this one, what I see is black is already down a rook, which is bad, and has an extra pawn. So if it's winning, either we should be able to just grab white's rook, or we should be able to checkmate the white king. There's no other way that we could win this. So what's coming to my mind is, first of all, queen e3 check. And I'm not even drawing the arrows. I want to do it all in my head. And I would just encourage everybody who's watching this video to do the same. Just calculate it out in your head. And the technique that I really like to calculate is to kind of whisper the names of squares, the whole variation to myself. And that way I can calculate much better. I don't know if anybody else has felt the same way, but when I'm queen e3, then king h4, I feel like I have something queen takes f4. So when I'm like whispering all the names of the squares, instead of like saying queen there, king there, king there, brain does not know where. Like there, all of them are there. No, all of them have like different names, and we must actually whisper the correct name of the square in our mind to be able to calculate better. So the point is, queen e3 check, like that is kind of forcing the white king to go to the fourth rank, and it has the g4 and h4 square. And in that case, well, of course, if king h4, then queen takes f4 check, and that doesn't look well for white king. If king h3 though, yeah, like king h4, queen takes f4 check, king h3. And okay, so in that position, white's king is on h3, my queen is on f4. Okay, I can maybe just give another check on h6 and king g3 again. So I don't see a way to checkmate the king. Like, okay, I see that if, for example, queen e3 check, king g4, I have h5 check. And if king takes h5, well, I would play g6 check. And if king h6, I would just take on f4 with check. And I think I must have like a mate there. Although again, like I'm not calculating, I'm feeling like there should be a mate there, but I should actually calculate it out. So queen e3 check. Let's do like one at a time. Queen e3 check, king h4, queen takes f4 check, and king h3. Well, can we go like king f5 in that position, as I see that there is no way white can give us a check on that square. So it kind of like threatens mate on g4. So he might actually play like g3. So once again, like queen e3 check, king h4, queen takes f4 check, king h3, king f5. I feel like he can go g3, but then okay, queen g4 check, king g2. Okay, then queen e2 check, but then king h3 back. So I don't see that. And okay, what if queen e3 check, king h4, and we don't take on f4? What if we have another move here? I'm thinking about g5 check. G5 check I didn't even consider, but pawn takes g5 and then queen takes g5 check, king h3. Why is it so hard? Queen e3 check, king h4, g5 check, pawn takes g5, queen takes g5 check, king h3. Can I go like h5 in that position? Because if h5, I'm threatening to, again, mate on g4. So if white goes g3, that's the problem. White can just go g3 after king h3, so king gets an escape square on g2. I thought this was like medium difficulty, or am I so bad? But I don't care. Like I said, it's the amount of effort I'm putting in on even one puzzle, or like I'm able to solve 10 puzzles in that time. To me, it's the same. It's giving time to something, and I'm giving deliberate practice to it, and it should benefit. So without getting demoralized, I must focus. So like queen e3 check, king h4. Okay, what if h5? I mean, that doesn't threaten anything. Oh, wait a second though. Queen e3 check, king h4, and then queen f2 check. That looks crisp though, because queen from f2 can basically force the king to, yeah, if queen e3 check, king h4, queen f2 check, if king h5, that looks losing for white, because g6 check and king h6, and then we have like queen h4 mate, right? Yeah. So queen e3 check, king h4, queen f2 check, and king cannot go to h5. And if king g4, then again I feel like h5 comes with a check, king takes, g6 check, king h6, and then queen h4 would be mate. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident now that I've checked everything. It should be it. Check. Okay, so he doesn't go king h4, he goes king g4, which I thought should be just also losing because of h5 check. And here we could just go g6 check, I believe. King h6, we just take on f4 check, and then queen h4 should be mate. No, I mean, what the? What? G6 check, king h6, I take on f4 check. Okay, king h7, and then king runs away to g8. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, stupid me. Stupid me. Anyways, the correct move should be, is it to just take and threaten mate? Yeah, so that was it. But yeah, like, okay, I have to focus. So here we have white pieces. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. All I gotta do is just take here and then fork. Oh, he continues. Yeah, this is threatening mate, so white must. Can I give him some check? Or I could just move my king to f1 and there is no mate, right? See, like if this happens to me in the tournament, like what's the point of even going? What's the point of even playing? So I have to avoid this. Like I have a better move here. Ah, we could drop the queen back. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, so let's do this correct. I know I have failed like the first two puzzles and I'm the one telling everybody to not solve puzzles wrong, but yeah, like whatever. I'm pissed actually. I'm super pissed at why did I do that incorrectly. Anyways, let's focus. So here we have white pieces. What I want to do is thinking about this check. Like first thing you should always check is checks. So queen d5 check, but if king h8, we have queen a8 check, mate, right? Because you could only block and that's it. So the king cannot go to h8, that's clear. This check cannot be blocked by any of the minor pieces. He can put the queen in the way and lose the queen. So yeah, this one should be it. Oh, the king actually goes to f8. So this is like my bad habit. I just like I didn't even consider that. I was like, okay, this is winning, but I should like check every move. I mean, I'm confident that this was winning, but I should at least have seen what to do after king f8, like the whole combination. Yeah, so I feel like it should be queen a8 check, king d7, and then king e7, and then queen e8 check. And yeah, the bishop controls d6, and that will be it. Finally, guys, congratulations to me. Anyways, we have a lot of pawns, and there's a big pawn as well. So we are down in exchange in this position. What I want to do is just take that rook. And what do you take with? If you take with this rook, or the pawn, or the king, or this pawn, you could just recapture with anything, literally. But what I would do is just push the b pawn forward, and I'll threaten to promote it with bishop to a2, and you have to give up your rook, and I have like yeah, I have like yeah, I'm simply winning, right? Yeah. Yeah, so first this, right? Yeah, first control the b1 square and then threaten to push. Otherwise, if like we pushed it first, rook already comes to like b1 and then just takes the pawn on the next move. So like I'm literally that stupid, and I'm going to play a tournament. Here we go. White pieces, and okay, so this one looks like to be winning because of this c pawn, but like light squares are super weak, and I have to be precise here because I mean, oh, there's a queen trade as well. Yeah, of course, we should just take the queen because bishop moves away, and then c7. Bishop gets back to f5 though. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Like if I take, bishop takes, what about like e6 first? So pawn takes, and then the bishop cannot come to f5 with control over the c8 square. Yeah, this was it. Okay, so next one we have like a very common position. We get this all the time in our games and tournaments. So like what to do here? It's winning for white. I thought like it would be a draw, and I would just like maybe move my knight back and press the clock. So see, like here is where we actually learn the patterns that we have to recognize during the actual game. So okay, there has to be some fork or something, right? Because we have this dude. I'm thinking about attacking the bishop as well. That is also looking okay. I mean, kicking the bishop back. But okay, the knight, where does it even go from there? Also, I'm thinking if I could just put my knight on the d3 square, it would attack the g. Sorry, it's e6, and it will attack g7, and then the bishop cannot go to f8 to protect it. So if I could just get my knight there. Okay, from here it cannot go there. Oh, there could be another idea though. My pawn is like too far reached on the 6th rank here, so I might actually just sack my knight and then promote my pawn. So this has to be it. But I have to be very clear that if knight has to use the g4 square or the d5 square. Or is there any difference between them? If knight g4, the bishop could actually drop back to e2 and save that pawn. So the knight actually has to go to d5 to control e7, so the bishop cannot drop there. So yeah, that's it. Oh, still, I have to not be like stupid again. If I take, I can't push, right? So the thing is, now we get to the d3 square, which was like my initial idea. So we combine both d3, and then you have to move the bishop and lose a pawn. So yeah, yeah, okay, that was nice. Anyways, okay, so one more, and then we'll end, and then I'll record another video where I'll come again for 20 minutes and then try to solve all these correct. I mean, this one was like, but okay. White to move here, and we have 2 pawns versus 3 pawns. Okay, but my king is like super active. I could just maybe go to like d5 and then king e6, king d7, and help my pawn to promote, right? Okay, not going to make the move. Let's think all the other possibilities by our opponent, or maybe just calculate it out, which is actually the purpose of the whole thing. So king d5, what if he just goes like f4? Then I could just maybe push my pawn to d7. So if king to c7, my king goes to e6, then f3, and then king e7, f2, and then I promote first with check. And there's no way I could let the game slip from my hands there. So that's winning. King d5, what if he just like does something else? There's nothing else he can do. Oh, he does this. There's always something he can do. So again, I have to calculate. So I feel like, again, this should be like winning. Same thing if you're pushing this pawn or the other. I have to push my pawn to d7, and then I'll be threatening to make a queen with check. So d7, he's got to go king c7, then I'll play king e6, and then c3, king e7, c2, I promote with check, and no way you could win. Oh, what am I going to do here? Come on! What is the problem with like d7? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, you have to go king c7, then I go king e6. Oh, the king could just go to like d8 and just block the whole path. So king e6 was actually correct. Anyways, now we push. Now we go here. And yep, guys. So that was like a disaster, but I'm not really shaken up with that, because like I know I'm like that. I have to fix this, right? I'm impatient sometimes, and I'm overconfident, and I don't check everything, but I'm damn sure that before the tournament I will solve enough endgame puzzles, and I'll be solving them. I'll be trying to solve them all correctly, and will not make any mistakes in the or any calculation mistakes, to be precise, in the actual tournament. So feeling excited for it, and we'll share what happens. And of course, I'll cover all the games of the tournament as well. And I'll create another video where I will share my opening repertoire that I am preparing for this tournament. And maybe you guys could also use that for you in your tournament. So I'll create that video maybe after the tournament. Like I don't want to release the video and let my opponents know what I am gonna play. So yeah, so this was it. Thank you guys for watching. Your suggestions and comments are welcome. Yeah, I said it right? Yeah, so thank you so much for your time, and like and subscribe to my channel.